Hey everybody, welcome to Dr. Cammy and Karen Go Keto. It's good to see everybody. Today, Cammy and I are going to do a little episode about goal setting, and I think Cammy has an idea of motivation and sick of being sick, tired of being tired, and we're just going to kind of bounce it back and forth. So let's see what Cammy has to say about goal setting and motivation.
Good morning, everybody. It's so good to be back. And thank you, Karen, for starting us off. So, I am in the process of doing carnivore OMADs, 1 meal a day with carnivore. And I think back about when I first started with ketogenic diet and 100 carbs a day I wanted to eat. And Karen was like, you need 20 to 25 a day. And I go, she's insane, and sure enough, it was 20 to 25 to start trying to get into some ketosis. But I'm really struggling with getting into ketosis. And it's just, I think, really because my insulin levels are so high. And because I do this thing called binging on carbs. And that has been putting a huge monkey wrench in my goal setting and my success. And I believe and feel at this point in time and pray to God that I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired. And today is May 11th. And the last time I had a binge was May 3rd. That was on the day that I weighed in after we got back from the trip, from the toy show trip. And I don't even remember it, to be honest. Like, I usually remember my binges about how great everything tasted and how it made me feel so like escape reality and all those things. I don't even remember it. I just remember that when I think of the memory of it, it feels like torture. It just feels like, oh God, that's awful. That's not getting me toward my goal. That's not helping me lose weight. That's not making me feel good. That's not healthy for me. It's keeping my fatty liver fat and all those things. So I'm in the process now of being angry. I'm a little pissed off and I'm a little angry, which I think is kind of a good thing because I've just had it. I just really feel like I've had it with trying to cover that up. And I think that it took the time that it took because it just did. And when you have binge eating as a way of coping for a lot of your things that are bothering you, it's going to take some time to work that one out. And I know a lot of us struggle with food. And when you're addicted to food, it's a little bit different than alcohol because you just don't drink that, or drugs, you just don't do those. And so as you're dealing with food, I think it's a little more difficult. So yeah, we'll see. Today is day 7 of carnivore OMAD. And I'm not really feeling any thinner. I'm not in ketosis. And I told that to Karen the other day, and she goes, well, how long have you been eating carbs? And you want to be in ketosis in 7 days, So I'm like, okay, well, but I just get to be patient.
Well, I think also something, because one of the things that we are talking about is setting goals and how to be motivated. So I've got two questions for you because you also said to me, you texted me this the other day. After I texted you and said I had a dinner roll, like, why? Why did I have a dinner roll? Um, and I ate the whole thing. And I think I know why it was. I ordered a burger and the burger was good, but I hate eating hamburgers without hamburger rolls. So I didn't eat the hamburger roll, but I ate the dinner roll. I don't know. I ate the dinner roll first, but I was planning on not eating the hamburger bun, and so I didn't eat the hamburger bun. But then I felt guilty. I'm like, of course you're not eating the hamburger bun. You just ate that dinner roll. And you texted me. I texted you that, and you said, I drank a Diet Coke yesterday. I have to say it was the most wonderful thing. I enjoyed it so immensely. And I think that we have to watch our words around our food. Because when you create that story, to me, it's just creating me. I want one now too, because I want to enjoy that. I want to have something that tastes
That you
that
enjoy
was
immensely.
that was the most wonderful thing. Don't we all need the most wonderful thing? I know that the Diet Coke's not the most wonderful thing, and that might have been another reason why I had the dinner rule, because I do know that Diet Coke is something I used to enjoy, especially with burgers and pizza. And I haven't been eating pizza. I haven't had pizza probably in 2 weeks. And even though I'm usually pretty good about not eating the crust or just eating one piece of crust and eating the rest just toppings. So I the plan is in place, right? The plan is to not eat those things. And my eating the dinner roll was off plan, but I'm not going to characterize it as some heavenly experience because I don't want that to be out there. I want my heavenly experience to be eating the steak that I had yesterday at the Cheesecake Factory, even though I didn't feel good after eating it. So, um, and I don't know what the overall, I just wasn't feeling very good. I think it's because, like, when I had this hamburger, I had a dinner salad, and I've been eating a lot of salads because I've been eating a lot of red meat. And I'm not feeling as good as I was when I'm just was eating my Cracker Barrel breakfast of 4 eggs and 4 sausage or my skillet breakfast. So I think I've got to dial back or, just dial back the salads and, eat the steak. But I do feel a little like there's not enough food on the plate, even though it's sometimes difficult to get through that steak that's on the plate. And usually there's, like a butter or some sort of sauce on the steak or some blue cheese or something. So it's a one day at a time thing, I believe. I think that we've, talked about that before. But you said you're angry or you're feeling anger. So what are you feeling anger at?
Well, before I talk about that, I just wanted to say that, I think what you're saying about the words and how you used to describe it is you bring up a really good point, Karen. And, that could have even triggered you. So I just didn't even think about how, wow, talking about it in that way, you know, could trigger whoever it is that's reading it. And I am going to be thinking about how I use my words. But those words were describing the feelings that I had. So the question is, why is it that I have those kinds of feelings when I'm eating poison? When I'm drinking poison into my body, why do I have those kinds of feelings? So like it's like peeling the onion and going a layer deeper and looking at that. And that might have something to do with why I'm angry.
Yeah.
Because I am.
All right. So where's the anger directed? Yourself, others, the food, circumstances? What?
Yeah, I think it's directed mostly at circumstances. I'm not really angry with myself. I'm just angry that I'm not having the results that I want to have. And we had that interview the other day with Doug Reynolds, and he was talking about how, in August, I'm going to get up on that stage. And I told everybody last August that I was going to lose 100 pounds. And there's no way I can lose 100 pounds between, that would be 70 more pounds I need to lose between then, so it's not going to happen. But I want to lose enough weight so that people can notice, like when I get up on stage, they're going to be like, wow, she is thinner. She does look different. And it's crunch time. And so I'm really mad that I can't make it happen and still binge and eat, drink Diet Coke. I think that's what I'm really mad about. And
Okay. So let's turn that around because you said you're mad at the circumstances that you can't make it happen. Okay. And binge at the same time.
yeah, I don't know that that's really how I feel. I think it's more that I'm mad that it took me this long to get to the point where I'm feeling like I'm going to move in a forward direction and not have the binges get in the way.
So you're mad it sounds like you're mad at a few things. Reality and science, right? Like so my question to you is why? Because w- is your true goal to have people recognize that you've lost weight and look thinner at the conference?
Well, that's one of my goals. Yes, that's a big goal. I also
Okay.
want to just be healthier. I want to
Okay.
live.
So I think that you need to take a look at those two things and ask yourself the why behind it. Because if the why behind looking good at the conference is just looking good at the conference, and you can't do it or you didn't do it, you have no control over that. The only thing you can do is put yourself up on the stage in whatever state you are in, right? Whether you could be 60 pounds lighter and everybody in the audience could say, "Oh, she doesn't look any thinner to me." So you can't control what they think. So the question is, is that really what your goal is, or are you just because it sounds to me more like you're angry at yourself because you let yourself down because you didn't stick to the plan that you knew would get you to where you wanted to be. And you wanted to be recognized as somebody that lost 100 pounds, and that's not going to happen now. And that's why you're angry.
Well, some of it's probably directed toward myself, I'm sure, because I'm not meeting my goal. But I'm learning how to give myself grace, and I'm learning how to be human, and I'm learning that it's going to take what it's going to take, and I'm learning that going through each binge is something that I needed to do to learn something or to experience something or to, it is what it is.
I think it's interesting that you don't remember this last binge. I think that that's a
Yeah,
step in the right direction. It didn't have the same effect on you.
I agree.
I think that that's the first acknowledgement you've ever had of where you haven't really gone over, this and your feelings regarding it. And I don't
Right.
think it's because you're stuffing them down. I think it's just because it didn't have the effect. And maybe it's interesting that it didn't have the effect that it normally would have, right? So that's a change. And I think a change around a binge is always going to be good, even if in the moment it seems like it's not a good change, it might be a good change.
Yeah.
Um, but also the Diet Coke, I think, is interesting because you are not normally a Diet Coke person. You don't drink a lot of soda.
Yeah, I think the Diet Coke came along because I was at this conference and I was missing my gym classes and I was feeling kind of guilty about missing my classes. I think that's why it came along.
But why would you
Plus,
drink
I
a
probably
Diet?
start. I'm craving sugar because I'm probably drinking too much caffeine. I'm drinking like a cup of regular coffee a day, and I probably shouldn't be doing that.
Yeah, and I think there was something about caffeine or coffee. It might not be the caffeine, it might be something else in the coffee that can increase well, you know what? I think the caffeine, I think that it increases the cortisol, which could keep your insulin level high. I think that that's because cortisol is a hormone, just like insulin is a hormone. So, and I think they're both metabolic hormones. Um,
But it also increases sugar cravings that caffeine does. I know it does for me, and Mike Collins talks about that all the time
yeah,
in the
and
sugar addiction community.
when I was at the Cheesecake Factory, I think I drank at least 4 of their, giant iced teas. And
Sick and tired of being sick and tired, and let's be patient, be consistent, be persistent, be motivated, give yourself some grace. Subscribe, we'd love comments.
we are here, and we
All
will
right,
be here more
everybody, take
often.
care.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.